My name is Melissa Claiborne, and this is my faith story. 4 years ago, my husband and I got pregnant with our third child. We were extremely excited. We went to the doctor. They did the first sonogram. We were really excited. In that first sonogram, they saw a couple of things that are some things that they were worried about. They did tell us at that time that there was a tumor growing in my stomach, in my uterus, with our child. And they told us that they just wanted to keep an eye on it. So I went back in a month. They did another sonogram, and that sonogram was a little bit different. He proceeded to explain that the tumor had grown to twice its size from the previous sonogram 4 weeks ago. It was taking blood supply, nutrition, and he just basically told me it would be like carrying twins. But he told me that it definitely wasn't what he thought it was. The word cancer came up. They told us that they weren't for sure that that's what it was, but they would biopsy it in 7 months when I had her. At that point in time, we were very scared. We came to church one Sunday, and I was visibly pregnant. I mean, I was probably about 3.5 months pregnant at the time. And there was a gentleman sitting in front of us, and he introduces himself while we are singing, and so he tells us that he doesn't normally come to that service, that he normally goes to an earlier service. There was a reason because of his grandchildren or something that he had come to that service. And we started singing another song towards the end of the service. And he turned around and he said, I don't know what you guys are going through, but the Lord has spoken to me, and he's just said that whatever you guys are going through, it's going to be okay. The Lord has taken that from you. And at that point in time, my husband was with me, and I just look at him and start bawling, of course. And he understood what he was saying. I was just overwhelmed at that point. And we had an appointment probably, I think it was the next week, probably 5 days later, to see a specialist about the tumor that was growing. And so we go to our appointment the next Tuesday, and the specialist just looks at my husband and I and says, I don't see a tumor. I don't see what the other doctors have been seeing. He said, I've gone through all of your sonograms. I've gone through all of your history. I've looked at all of the notes. I knew exactly where to look, and I don't see it. I don't know what they're talking about. And he said, there's no explanation for this. I don't know how to explain this. My husband and I just kind of looked at each other and grinned. We knew that the Lord had taken it, that it was no longer going to be a burden on us anymore. It was at that point that the excitement came back, that we were pregnant with our third child. We named her Lillian Faith, and she'll be 4 in September. And we prayed nonstop. But I think that it's very important to understand that, we don't walk by sight. We have to have faith that the Lord can still do miracles, that he can still move mountains.